Do you know what being non-binary is? Are you non-binary? Either way, it doesn't matter because I'm going to explain why I'm having such a hard time living as this identity to the rest of the world and to probably the rest of you lovely people, maybe 90% of you. I'm just girl who uses they them pronouns, and honestly I don't do much to change that, to present androgynously. I do try to lower my voice, but that clearly doesn't do much anyways. I still have a very feminine way of speaking, I guess, if that's a thing, and it's really just been a problem for me since I first started, identifying this way years ago. I've always known, like, at the back of my mind, like, anybody that I introduce myself to and I'm like, oh, I'm actually a gender, oh, I use they them pronouns, it's like I can just see on their face, they're like, oh brother, another one of these girls who wants to be different. And it's really not like that. Maybe you don't know, but I'm still gonna try and explain it anyways. I feel like my whole gender identity is just rooted in me being a person, because it's not me necessarily trying to run away from femininity. In real life, I still dress pretty feminine. Like, I don't change what I wear. Like, you will never see me in a skirt or a dress, but like I actually, maybe I don't dress as femininely as I thought, but either way, if you saw me out on the street, you would probably assume that I'm female, and it's like, maybe, sometimes I wear the occasional makeup. Maybe if it's a big event, I'll do a tiny bit of makeup on my face and stuff, because I don't know, that's just all I've ever known. For going out in public and to be presentable, you wear makeup, like, obviously that's not true for everyone, but like, that is what you do, and that's what I've always known. And I know I can always just go outside and look normal. I do that a lot, but like, the gender roles really come out in full force whenever it's a social event where lots of people are. It's like, okay, I know I'm still agender, but you guys still see me as girl, so let me at least try and look like good girl, This is something that a lot of spaces online and like in person, they have the same mindset. Whenever you see spaces that are like, okay, we are only accepting women and non-binary people, what they mean by that non-binary part is they mean people who were born female, AFAB people. That's what they mean, because like, that is undoubtedly a very big chunk of the non-binary population, usually people who lived life femininely or were brought up as women anyways. I do understand the inclusiveness, but really it just seems like girl and girl light. I'm pretty sure that term has been used a lot in reference to AFAB non-binary people such as myself, who either decide to present femininely or like they don't change much about how they present, even though they know that they're probably still going to be that they're probably still going to be called a girl at the end of the day. Whenever I think about why I'm actually agender, I always seem to run into this issue of, oh, I'm just trying to be a different girl. Like, I can still be myself and do all these things and still be a girl. And that is true. I can literally decide tomorrow, hey, I'm a girl again, and like, it won't change much. Like, I know I'm not the greatest I'm not the greatest at achieving girlness, but that is not the reason why I am non-binary. Like, yes, I'm a black person. Let's say I was a black woman. I don't look like the stereotypical image of a black woman. And so that has always, really got to me. Like, I'll never be an actual woman. But like, that's just not true, because there are so many other black women who look like me and they're still women and they're still very, very fine and comfortable in their, femininity and all that jazz. And I've come to understand, like, even if I did look like the stereotypical woman, I don't feel any inclination to womanhood. I don't feel girlness. I don't feel any need to tap into my divine feminine or anything like that. And you can be the most masculine woman on planet Earth and still be a woman at the end of the day, if you so wish to be, like, if you identify as such. And obviously that's all true. But I just feel like, even if I was masculine or feminine, I'm just not a woman, I'm just not girl at my core. Maybe the roots in that comes from, you know, how women are treated nowadays, or just like how women are treated in the world. The issue with that argument is the issue with that is, to the rest of the world, I'm still a woman. So me saying, oh, I'm actually non-binary, it's not going to change how I'm treated. Maybe it changes how a handful of people refer to me, but that's it. I still go into women's restrooms. I still watch videos that say, if you're a woman, watch this. But like I do try to skip them. But it's like, I was socialized this way, so your advice is probably helpful to me. Maybe it won't be, but I'm still gonna listen to it anyways. And it's so weird because I always think, if I just stop this whole saying this whole I use they, them and all that stuff, then maybe my life would be a little bit easier. Maybe I'd be able to avoid these awkward conversations with friends and family and meeting new people and being like, actually, I'm not a girl. I use they, them pronouns. And you know, the really awkward conversations when you always have to keep correcting someone who always forgets what pronouns you use because, oh, you're looking very girly today. What is the point? My life is already hard. I'm Black, living in a predominantly white area. I don't need to be adding more labels onto myself. But at the same time, I just cannot get rid of that absolutely icky feeling I get when I'm referred to femininely. Like, don't get me wrong, I know I'm always going to be she'd and heard, probably until the day I die. It doesn't take away the fact that it doesn't feel nice to hear anymore. Because I've been living around a very, very nice bubble of friends who use my correct, you know, pronouns and all that stuff. They do their absolute best to honor my identity, which is very lovely of them, obviously. They're just amazing people that I'm surrounded with. But I also know that the rest of the world is 100% not like that. And it sucks. And I cannot really tell you why getting she'd and stuff it's just, I mean, I can tell you why. It's not me, you know? I know that you probably are just seeing me as like a frustrated girl who's maybe a tomboy. I've already gone through that phase. And it wasn't me either. Like, I remember finding the term agender and just being like, wow, this is me. And the thing is, like, you could present any way you want. I would realistically want to present a lot more androgynously than I do now. And I do take strides and I make efforts to do that. You know, in person, obviously. It feels like online, I just cannot escape it, especially when it has to do with maybe hearing me or seeing me. Because especially with, you know, this YouTube channel and stuff, I sound like this, which is, to the layman, a girl voice. I don't want to start going into voice training and all that stuff, even though I probably should anyways. But I don't necessarily want to sound masculine either. My whole goal is androgyny. It's so hard to do that with your voice, I guess. I'm trying really hard, but maybe I could be trying harder. I don't know. And honestly, I just wanted to just put this out there, you know, for any other non-binary people who are feeling similarly to me, because I feel like this is something that a lot of us probably relate to. It's really sucks, you know. The whole world is trapped under these gender binaries and these gender roles and all this stuff. You can always be a woman and not subscribe or conform to any gender roles whatsoever. But I always it's really just not me. I don't think it ever will be, honestly. Who knows? Maybe in a few years my gender identity will change, but it's been a good few years now. I cannot tell you the joy that I receive whenever somebody refers to me as they. It started really slowly in the past. You know, when you get on video game stuff and you're in online lobbies and you're talking, maybe when you don't even talk and they don't know who you are, getting referred to as he, it was always like, huh? I'm not a dude. But it was also like, at least you're not calling me a girl. And I always wonder, am I actually a trans man? And it's like, no, I don't want to be a man in any way whatsoever. I don't want to be a man, woman. I just don't want to be, I just don't have any of those. I'm not one of those, you know, roles, I guess. One of those binaries. Yeah, I'm just some guy, but I'm not a guy, you know? I'm just a sentient being. That's so cringe, but that is genuinely how I came up with this whole name thingy. And honestly, it's perfect. It just describes me. Like, yeah, I'm a sentient being. Like, that's just what I am. I am an organism that exists, unfortunately. Anyways, I hope you guys like listening to me yap about something so inconsequential. Oh my gosh, such first world problems. Am I right? Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.